Good morning and welcome to my Anthem review. Here's how the format of this review is going to work. I'm going to go into free play, which is their equivalent of a Destiny patrol, and during the loading screen I'm going to talk about things that are bad about Anthem, and then when we get to the game I'll talk about things that are good about Anthem. First off, you can't do some things privately, so if you just want to explore the world and pick up resources, well, screw you, you have to matchmake. The game's radar sucks, it's really hard to find bad guys. So many objectives revolve around standing in a circle waiting for a bar to fill. The load times are terrible. The loot is terrible. I didn't receive a single epic thing over the course of the entire storyline. The storyline has blatant padding where the game literally stops and says, just go do something while you wait for things to happen. There's no locale variety. The entire world is basically just one big jungle. The UI for selecting your loadout and equipment is terrible and can only be accessed when you're in the home base, which takes a really long time to load, a really long time to navigate, and the fact that you can't switch out weapons that you find in the world is incredibly boring, because then it means you're stuck with weapons that might be bad for a fight or a mission, but you can't change them because you have to be back at the home base to do it. And the entire storyline, as far as I can recall, consists of people saying, "We got this," a lot. I want to say I heard it at least 10 times over the course of the entire game, but it might have been more. I might have lost track, because it's apparently the only thing people can say. And the storyline as a whole is absolute generic nonsense. I do love how the game opens with CGI cutscenes of things that don't happen in the game, such as air-to-air combat, or the ability to have more than 3 javelins assisting you at one time. And that's the list of things I had to say about this games that are bad. I said really fast, because I was optimistic the game might have loaded by the time I'd actually said all these things. But it hasn't. And often it'll give you missions where you have to fly to a cave, and then when you fly into the cave there's a loading screen, and then when you do a thing in the cave for like a minute, then you have to fly back out of the cave into another loading screen like this one. And then if you get too far away from your teammates, it'll give you another loading screen where it teleports you to them. And if you're lucky, maybe you won't have been teleported to where they were, and then get another loading screen to teleport to where they are. Anthem is incredibly mediocre to play all round because of a lot of these things. It's just weighed down by so many problems. But hey, we've loaded into the game now with some random puppy names, and now we can show off the things that are really nice about the game.
System check complete. Looking at relevant comm traffic for events that need our attention. Sounds good.
The actual suits are nice. They're nicely animated. Like, they look like something that could feasibly exist. That look real, you know? The music, when it plays, is kind of nice. I have a shield on this class, and being able to sprint into people and bash them with it is kind of fun. And flight. Flight's cool. Except for the fact that that overheat bar underneath my feet is filling up incredibly rapidly while I do nothing but fly forward in a straight line. I'm going to have to go back and count afterwards, but you don't get to fly for very long before you just fall at the sky like a rock. You get a small bit of control while you're overheating and falling at the sky like a rock, but just the very fact that your overheat bar runs out so fast is just depressing. You can make it a little bit faster or a little bit cooler by doing stuff like diving in the air. That'll cool you down a little bit, but God help you if you need to climb back up again. And if you go near water, you can cool off a bit. And there's a good bit of water around in free play. But again, when you need to get from place to place, or you need to fly up, there isn't always a waterfall handy to be able to cool off. So yeah, like that's the main unique selling point of this game is you're Iron Man, and you can fly. And my favourite part of all of the Avengers movies is when Tony Stark has to stop and take a breather every 15 seconds or so because his suit's overheated. I don't know, it's just... this feels alright. Like, the actual gameplay moment to moment is fine. It's just everything else about it isn't. Like, the actual world is pretty boring and dull. It's just green caves and green jungle and grey caves and grey jungle. It's just... there's nothing happening out here. Like, having finished the story, there's essentially no real reason for me to want to go out here and do things. Like, I haven't encountered a single bad guy yet. The E3 trailers that show off stuff like Shaper Storms, where the world is getting ravaged by disasters, they just don't happen. Oh, and guns. Guns feel pretty anemic. Like, I've managed to get some rare ones by playing through the game, though still no epics or masterworks or legendaries or anything actually really cool. At least as the Colossus, you get stuff like this Gatling gun, which is kind of fun. But the rest of your guns tend to kind of suck. At least the Colossus has a snappy couple of attacks and the L1 and R1 abilities, but just... yeah, like, it's just not great. Like, I didn't even know any of those guys were there, because the radar on the minimap just shows some red blobs on the top right hand corner, which is kind of hard to see. And then, if you're at a different elevation from them, or there's something in the way, like that red dot telling you where things are, they could be above you, they could be below you, it's completely useless. Look at this, the AI just stands out in the open and shoots at you. They don't even try to take cover or use tactics or anything at all. They're just fodder for you to pick off. And that's fun for a while. For a while. And it stops. That's Anthem, really. It's fun for a while, and then you get bored, and then you come across story missions where the game says, hey, please go and do things like melee kill 50 enemies, and revive other people to progress the story. And that just sucks. Like, when it goes down to about 10 quid, 20 quid down the line, when there's been a couple of months of patches and updates, when they actually add some content to the game, it might be worth picking up. But for what's here right now, it just isn't.